Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Cybin bringing you more Magic the Gathering spoilers. Let's continue examining the revealed cards for MTG's upcoming set, Oath of the Gatewatch. For this video, let's take a look at one of the new Planeswalkers. Well, she isn't new, but she's getting a new card. As most of you know, Chandra Nalaar finally decided to join the fight for Zendikar after initially refusing Jason Gideon's offer, deciding rather to stay at the Carol Keep. Good thing for us, the guilt of her basically helping release the Eldrazi ate at Chandra enough to get her butt into the battle. So now we're presented with her latest card, Chandra Flamecaller. As a Planeswalker, Chandra Flamecaller costs 4 generic and double red mana and comes into play with 4 loyalty counters. Adding a loyalty counter allows you to put 2 3/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield. Exile them at the beginning of your next end step. Emphasis on the exile, not sacrifice. Using the neutral ability with 0 cost, discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards +1. And finally, her ultimate ability, which bypasses the tokens and goes straight for the burn. Remove X loyalty counters from Chandra Flamecaller and she'll do X damage to each creature. So let me say right off the bat, when I first saw this card spoiled, I was excited to finally see a playable Chandra. But after the excitement died down and my logic returned, I realized she may not be as good as I first thought. Now, Chandra's had some bad luck when it comes to playable standard cards, and unfortunately, I feel like this may be another example. It all comes down to the environment she's being released in and how its abilities could synergize with the strong decks already out there. When you think red, you think burn, right? Well, yeah, of course. So how can Chandra Flamecaller help in a burn or aggro deck? Look at that +1. Getting 2 3/1 creatures with haste is pretty burny if you ask me. It's like summoning a split ball lightning minus the trample, but hey, that means your opponent needs more blockers. So a free ball lightning, yeah, I'd take that in almost any red deck. Only it isn't as great as it appears, especially for burn. These aren't free, weaker ball lightnings. They cost the price of the Planeswalker, which in the case of Chandra Flamecaller is a staggering 6 mana. Not something you'd like to see in an aggro deck. So if you use her just for those elementals, you're basically paying ball lightning price for stuff much weaker. Yeah, you can do it every turn, which offers a better value, but still I just feel like the Planeswalker's cost is too high for an aggressive deck. Not to mention, by turn 6, your opponent is more likely to have an answer to those elementals and Chandra in general. So what about that 0 ability? Losing your hand and drawing that many +1 is pretty nice, especially when you need a fish for the cards to end your opponent. In this aspect, it's a decent ability. But remember, if you wanted to use her in an aggro deck, you really shouldn't have much in your hand. If Chandra Flamecaller is used as nothing more than an expensive draw a card, I believe it's a waste of a Planeswalker. Then again, in something like a spell burn deck, fishing for the tools you need may make this a pretty awesome ability. Then of course we have her ultimate, which is just a massive burn spell. Oh, but wait, it doesn't hit your opponent's face, only creatures. Well, that's okay then, it clears the way for your creatures to get through. Oh, but wait, it hits all creatures, including your own. Ouch. This is Chandra Flamecaller's most confusing ability to me. It could help with an aggro deck should you have an empty board, which means you're probably losing. And it could help in a burn spell deck, clearing off your opponent's stuff. Could being the key word in both those statements. If you were to tell me that a Planeswalker came with a board wipe, I would have probably been very excited until you said it was on a red Planeswalker. It just doesn't fit with any decks right now. Maybe there's some kind of control red deck out there, and maybe this would be good, but I just don't see it. Chandra Flamecaller has what I'd say is an identity crisis. All these abilities on their own are good, even decent, but they just don't seem to synergize at all. Not only do they lack synergy with each other, but they also don't fit into any one red archetype. It's like a melting pot of abilities. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but when coupled with her high mana costs and relatively unsafe loyalty counters, it makes it a hard case to say it'll be good. There's a lot of other points I could make, but I think I'll just say this. Chandra Flamecaller is the Chandra I was waiting for. It just came at the wrong time. But then again, I could be wrong, which in this case, I would love. Please let me know in the comments below your opinion on Chandra Flamecaller. How would you use her in a deck? In any case, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, consider throwing it a like and subbing to the channel. It goes a long way in supporting future content. As always guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.